Thank you so much for joining us, Marina. We really appreciate you taking the time to tell us more about yourself and also sharing your story because it's important to have these conversations and get these stories out. So we really do appreciate you doing this for us.
Yeah, of course, no worries. I also appreciate you guys, and I would love to be able to communicate with you guys.
Awesome. And where do you currently live? And do you live by yourself or do you live with family members?
I live in Sacramento, and I live with my mom and my significant partner and my two siblings. I have a She is 8 years old. She's turning 9. She's Her name's Veronica. She says she wants to be a teacher, so hopefully she still wants that later on. My brother, he is 16 now. Yeah, he's 16. He's still in high school, but he wants to pursue the same thing I am, which is nice. He wants to follow my footsteps in becoming a nurse. And my mom, she works with SEIU. She just makes sure like workers are being um, represented right, like protected, and that they have a voice. Anything that's going on at the workplace, such as like unsafe work regulations or wage theft or retaliation, any of that, she makes sure she's there, and she helps them with any of that.
Awesome. And are you all living in a house or are you living in an apartment?
We are living in an apartment.
What dreams do you have for yourself and just for your family as a whole?
Honestly, goals for me personally, to become a nurse and to have a stable income. Also for my family, the same thing. All of them to be able to have the opportunity to have education in their life and be able to pursue anything that it is that they put their mind to.
What's your current job title? What company do you work for? And also, are you part of the union?
So I work for Chipotle at the moment, and I'm considered a crew member. And I have been participating in the union for a while now, for I would say I would say 3 to 4 years now. And honestly, it's been inspiring, and it's very nice to know that you have a voice, and that you can make a difference.
What does a typical day look like for you? From start waking up in the morning to when you arrive to work, or even if you have class in between, just so we can know more about your schedule and about everything that you do.
So for school, I have school Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 a.m. till 4 p.m. And then after that, I normally have work like at 5, so I have an hour gap. And I get off like at 11 or 10. And so after that, I come home, I clean, I do my homeworks. I go to the gym because my gym doesn't close till 12, my school gym. So that's nice. In between, I would say I wake up pretty early. I wake up like at, I'd say sometime the earliest I wake up is 6 a.m. But lately, it's been more like 8 a.m. and I'm rushing. But yeah, definitely, it's been nice to like organize that. Plus, it's only 2 days where I have to do that out of the whole week.
Do you like your job? Why or why not?
I like my job. I definitely miss my last job. I used to work at Starbucks. I feel like they had more benefits, and I would say more communication. Chipotle, it's a little stricter for sure. Um, the nice thing is you kind of already know what you're doing. You just go in, and you're going to be serving people, and so you talk to people face to face, and it's pretty fast. They order their burrito or their bowl, and yes, the only problem I would say is portions. Like managers tend to be really strict. Sometimes like you'll notice them cutting your hours after they told you like to limit the portions of, like, say the meat you're serving.
Would they cut like 2 hours or is it like significant? Like you only work half of the schedule that you typically work because of that?
So I've seen me have 25 to 15 hours for sure. So it's been, I'd say, 10 hours. Um, I've seen other coworkers with the same thing where it's like, uh, you get praised, if you limit portions, and sometimes it ends you off with like a bad note with the customers because, you know, um, they ask for more, and even though you gave them like half a spoonful, you have to charge them extra. So it kind of limits us in our job, I would say.
How does this impact you in your personal life? Like I know cutting hours, that's cutting money.
When managers cut my hours, it brings me down, honestly, because I've seen my college tuition go up. So it really sucks because you're making what 200 to 300 like bi-weekly or so, and it really sucks because there's also rent to pay and bills to pay, insurance to pay. There's so many things to pay, and it really sucks because I wish they were more understanding. And so it puts you in this awkward position where it's you choose, your bills and everything, or you choose, to do your job right, and it puts you in this like weird feeling.
Has anyone, spoke to higher ups to kind of like explain or have multiple people express like, look, we're doing this because of X, Y, and Z, and we're doing our best.
I've tried myself, but most of my coworkers are scared or they're timid or they think that it's gonna end up resulting in retaliation and less hours are gonna be there. And most of my coworkers they have kids, and that's one of the things that I try not to pressure them because I understand they have kids to feed and kids to shelter, and so that's the only down part of it. But I'm still trying, and I'm still continuously showing them what can be done.
Are there any positive supervisors or any, supervisors that aren't cutting hours and are understanding?
I have two supervisors. They're more laid back. They're more, I would say, respectful and understanding towards everything and everyone. I've seen them try to stick up for us as well, and I'm hoping that they don't receive retaliation against like for that.
What are some solutions? I know you mentioned training for employees and for managers. What are some solutions, other solutions you want to see to help bring forth some needed changes?
I would definitely say they don't need to hover over you while you're working because you've already been trained to do your job, and so it makes you feel kind of belittled, when you're being hovered over and stared at, to see your every move. So it would definitely help if they were trained to not do that, and that would change, so you had more liberty to do your job, and so you didn't feel like you were doing something wrong. I would love my coworkers to feel more safe and having a voice, and I would love them to be able to, yeah, feel safe saying something and not feeling afraid because they think that retaliation is gonna happen against them because it already has over other things, such as the portion. And honestly, it would be amazing for me to see that because then I'd know, um, and they'd know how much can be done.
Now, zooming out and just focusing on the bigger picture, now tell me, how do you feel like what are things that can make you and your family just feel secure overall and not even just work related?
For me and my family, um, it would definitely make us feel more secure if we knew that our jobs weren't going to retaliate against us, right? And that we had a safe place to work at, where we won't get fired or we won't get our hours cut, for things that are out of our control and things that have to do just with profit. It would definitely make a big change, for us as well. If I was able to receive EBT, and if I were to receive certain benefits, that other people would, it would definitely make us feel better and make me feel better, honestly. It would help us, and I don't know if this counts as well, but if college tuition was lower for sure, it'd be easier, and it'd be nicer and smoother because it is definitely expensive. Mine came out to be like 11,000 per semester.
Now, politicians, they oftentimes speak about connecting with workers and wanting to connect with workers. Do you feel like that's the case?
So far, I don't feel like that's the case, seeing the current trends and seeing the current way that the US is going. It feels like we're going back rather than going forward. It feels like we're definitely taking away many things that would help us and we're not expanding on the things that would help us. Um, I think that if that was many politicians' goals, some of their actions wouldn't be focused on profit, and it wouldn't be focused on money and um, being just money. I know some politicians, they tend to look good because they donate money, but much of the reason that they do that is so that they don't get taxed, and that's the sad truth about it.
What are some things you recommend that they can do to actually better connect with workers?
I would like to see more campaigns being done, by them, and them being able to participate with workers, and them showing more interest in what's going on, in our day to day life. Because some of them are so out of touch with reality and what's going on that they really don't know. And politicians that I've seen, many of them, they don't seem to be asking a lot of questions that they should be asking. You could ask questions such as, well, what's going on in your workplace? What do you think could be changed? What do you think is things that your workplace could be working on, or things that are unjust or unfair? I think that there's a multitude of questions they can ask. What could help you in your workplace so that everything could be much better, in our environments, being regardless of what job you're at, even if you're a nurse. I know I've heard a lot of things in the nursing facilities, and I think that questions could be asked all over the place, any kind of job.
Marina, I can't thank you more. Like, we really do appreciate you taking the time to share this information with us because I know it's not easy talking about, issues that you're currently dealing with and like even talking about the past experiences that you had. So we are super grateful for that.
It was so nice to talking to you all, and I really appreciate it and like the questions you asked.